Hello again, guys. Welcome to the fourth application for Course A in our Tackling Technology Online. The app this week we're going to go over is Google Calendars. So let's get to it. We're going to come up here to our app launcher or waffle icon and select Calendars. If you hear any commotion in the background, I apologize. I had no quiet place to do it, so I'm doing it in our office. Right off the bat, when we open up Calendars, you'll notice a little pop-up letting you know or asking you if you want to allow notifications. In this instance, I always click allow because notifications are just going to keep you posted on any events that are coming up. And we'll get into that in a little bit. When we're looking at calendars, to the left here on our little sidebar, we have a mini calendar that we can jump ahead to different dates without moving our main calendar. Underneath that, we can take a look at all of the calendars that we currently can see. We have a list of my calendars as well as other calendars. The main difference between these two lists here, calendars that fall under my calendars are calendars that you can edit. So that's adding events, editing existing events, inviting people to, as well as changing settings. Calendars that appear under other calendars are simply calendars that you might be subscribed to or invited to view. All you can do with these are simply view them. So here I can look at the boardroom schedule to see what's going on. We just got done having cake for Roger Vigos. And all I'm doing is checking this little box off to turn it on or off, whether I want to see it. Now this calendar I cannot create any events for. All I can do again is simply just view what's going on for them. If you're wondering, that cake was chocolate with chocolate icing. It was pretty good from Costco. Above my calendars is an option for you to add or search other calendars. Okay, so I can type in someone's name, and I'm going to type in Maria Ivana, and if I wanted to see Maria's calendar, I can select her name. And what happens is, depending on how that person's calendar is set up, whether it's public or private, you can either view that person's calendar or request access to view that calendar. And that's a setting that I will show you later, how you can change that calendar from being public or private. I'm going to hit cancel here. Along the top, we can skip from week to week. We can jump back to today, or you can change the view from week to month. So I'm going to jump in the month view right now, and we can see all the different calendar events. The difference between the way these events look, our timed events have times next to them, and our all-day events have a solid strip of color behind them. If I jump back to week view, those all-day events will appear along the top here. Any events that have a specific schedule or time period will be blocked out for that particular time, and that can only be seen again in week view or day view. Okay. Real quick, I'm just going to create an event for today. We can create an event by either clicking on a specific date and time in the calendar, or you can come up here to this little create button and click on that. We're going to call this example event. And in it here, I can change the date. I can change the time. So right now, we're going to go ahead and make this set for 3:10. And if I want, I can change the calendar in which this falls under. Again, these calendars that appear here will only be the calendars that fall under my calendars that you have edit access to. Down here you can save it, or you can click more options and further adjust this event. You can change it to all day or even set it to repeat. This is great for regular meetings, monthly meetings, weekly meetings, for clubs, groups, whatever the case may be, or even if it's just a meeting that you have with grade partners, you can set that to some defaults here, or Click custom, and you can adjust how often you meet, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, on certain days of the month, and you can also set when that ends, that repeating ends. Okay, I'm going to hit cancel here. You can add some conference in. If you want to add a Google Hangout, everyone that gets invited to this event can join a Hangout for video conferencing. This is great for those of you that might be meeting with grade partners from different buildings or supervisors from other buildings. Rather than getting all together, you can all join a video Hangout. Beneath that is a notification. The notification is set by default in settings, which we'll go over quickly. Okay, my default setting here is set to 15 minutes. And you can add as many notifications to an event you would like. Right now, we'll change this time back. We'll go, we're gonna change this to 3:30, and we'll make that 3:15. Okay. To invite guests, to the right here, you start typing in the person's name and or email, and it'll search through your contacts, just like sharing a document or file. As you invite guests, you can adjust the permissions, whether they can modify the event, whether they have the capability to invite others, or edit the guest list. Last thing I want to show you in the event is the capability to add a description or even add attachments. So if it is a meeting and you have materials that you need to share out, this is a great way to upload documents from your computer, from your drive, wherever you have them stored. When you're done, you just select save. Ask you, do you want to invite people to this? Send invites, and I do. Okay. Here's my calendar event right here. Again, if you're having trouble with all of the events, you can just simply hide whatever you don't want to see. And now I'm left with this particular calendar. Okay. Calendar events, you can easily change the color for them by clicking on the 3 dots next to each calendar. So you can color coordinate your calendars with folders that you might have to stay better organized. These colors, when changed, only affect your view, not other invitees or owners of these calendars. Again, these colors are just affecting your view. Okay. You'll also notice under the 3 dots is option for settings and sharing. In the top right, there's also a gear in which we can jump into settings from here as well. So we're going to take a quick look at settings and then we'll be done. In settings, there's 2 main parts. There's your general settings for the application and calendar settings. And then each calendar has its own settings that you can go through and customize. Again, these calendars that you can adjust settings for vary depending on whether the calendars fall under My Calendars or Other. Okay. Under General, you'll see things like time zone, view options. Do you want to view by default, your week view, month view? Do you want to see weekends? Okay. These are all things that you can go through at your own time and customize these settings that work for you. Okay. When you go into each calendar, so on the left-hand side here, I'm going to click on a calendar. As I mentioned, each calendar has its own settings as well. And under these calendars is an option for access permissions. This is where you can change your calendar from being public, meaning anyone can view it at any point in time, to being private, in which a request will be sent to you when someone wants to view your calendars. Okay. To be private, just make sure both these checkboxes are unchecked. Okay. If you did want to share that with specific people, right beneath that, you have the capability to add people to your calendar, just like you would share a document. And you even have settings that you can change for those individuals as far as what they can see and what they can change. Okay, so take some time, go through these settings. There's a lot of different things, including options to copy embed codes, as well as links for your calendar, so you can share those out either via your teacher site or through email to give access to people to view your calendar. So take a look through the settings, play around with Calendar. The HyperDoc has a number of different resources for you to learn some of the other features that are available within calendars. I would suggest taking a look at how to create appointment slots. This could be a useful tool used for parent conferences. As always, if you have any questions at all, feel free to post your questions, comments in the classroom, or send us a personal comment or email. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. Hope you all have enjoyed this course. Keep an eye out for the next course for the spring, in which we'll cover a few more Google apps.